of other prizes to be won instantly, like mobile phones, t-shirts, and free bottles of Coke, Fanta, or Sprite. So keep on drinking and win. Shake up your senses and ride with Coca-Cola. Open happiness.
Good evening, beautiful viewers, and welcome to another edition of your weekly GRA forum, where we talk about issues concerning the new value-added tax with officials from the Gambia Revenue Authority. I am Mama J, your host, and I'm with Mr. Fafanding Cham, Deputy Commissioner at the Gambia Revenue Authority, and Mrs. Matinjai Sengor, Senior Officer Task Education at the Gambia Revenue Authority. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Tonight, viewers, we're going to talk about zero-rated supply, and this Mr. Fafanding Cham is going to open the forum for us and define or explain what zero-rated supply mean to this value-added tax.
Thank you very much, Mama, and good evening, viewers. We are here once again for our weekly program on the new tax type called value-added tax. As Mama rightly said, today the topic tonight will be on zero-rated supplies. But before I go into the discussion proper, I would like to seize this opportunity to appeal to our esteemed customers, particularly those making purchases of or those buying taxable goods and supplies, that anytime they enter in any shop where they are charged VAT, they should be demanding their receipts. Because as we always said, for any tax policy to succeed, we must get the maximum cooperation from the consumers. Because VAT, we've been talking about the implementation. We discussed various stages here of the implementation process. Now we are in the period of implementation. VAT has started. So the important message now here is for the consumers, because they are the ultimate payer of this tax. Businesses are just seen as collectors. So therefore, when you pay a VAT to a particular business, we should always demand receipts. We know that Gambians, we are not fond of, or it's not part of our culture for us to be demanding receipts, but because of the VAT, how it operates, it requires people requesting for receipts. Particularly businesses along Gimpex area, you enter into any supermarket or along Joshua line, please, anytime you go there and buy something, ask for a receipt, because that is what is going to help GRA to be able to make these people accountable for what they are collecting from the consumers. Having said that, today, as you said, the topic is zero-rated supplies. These are supplies mainly exported or export outside the borders of Gambia. In the VAT regime, we have two rates. We have what we call standard rate, which is at 15% for taxable goods and supplies consumed in this country. And we have what we call zero-rated. These are goods or services that are exported outside Gambia. These goods and services are not exempt goods, but they are taxed at rate zero. There is a very good reason for this. One of the reasons is any goods that you produce in this country and you are exporting it, we want our goods to be competitive in other markets. So if we decide to add VAT to it, that may make the prices of these goods very expensive in other markets, and their competition there will be somehow reduced. So as a result of that, this is an international policy, or is a general or good practice anywhere VAT is being used as a tax regime, that any export that is being exported outside the borders of a particular country is rated at the rate 0. These 0 rated goods, companies or individual business that are dealing in exports, they also make some purchases locally. So any purchases they made towards producing these goods and services where they are charged VAT, the law said they should file a return and claim for this VAT. So that is why they are considered 0 rated and they are not exempt. And this is what our discussion tonight is going to center around. Mama.
Thank you, Mr. Cham. We'll hear Mati Njai Senghor also to further elaborate on this 0 rated supply goods.
Okay. Thank you, Mama. As Cham rightly said, in the VAT we have the standard rate of taxable goods, which is at 15%, and we have 0 rated supplies, and we have exempt supplies. They are categorized in these 3 main domains. So we have discussed the exemptions here, which include the basic food commodities, the financial services not rendered for fee, the agricultural products, the residential rent, and so forth. We have already dwelled into that in our previous programs. So for the 0 rated supplies, those businesses who are doing in that category should also register for VAT if they meet the threshold. But like anything they produce is taxed at a rate of 0%. Sorry, so, at 0%, because like he said, we want to encourage our local industries so that they can produce more and export and then compete in the international market. So that's why we make it a 0 rate percent, so that the goods will not be expensive when they reach the international market. And secondly, the other benefit is that any expenses they have incurred in the process of producing those goods locally, they can claim for the input credits, which is the refund at the end of the month. So they benefit from those things. And apart from exports, we have also international travels, like, for instance, air tickets now. We used to have sales tax on them, 15%, but now with the VAT, there is 0%, which means we expect the cost of air tickets to come down.
To come down. Wow.
The
That's
advent
good
of the
news
VAT.
for the travelers.
Yeah. So those are the just few things I wanted to add on to what Cham said.
Viewers, you've had Mati's own side of the story concerning the 0 rated supply of these value-added tax goods. And mbokk yi ñu seetaan ñoo ngi leen di nuyu fii si GRTS ñu ñëwaati naka si seen beneen programme ni GRA forum buñ leen dee isil talaata bu nekk ci waxtu bii nii maanaam naamu bu es bi nga xam ne moom la nguur bi teral fii ci biir réew mi tey comme niñ ko baaxoo di defee rek ñi fi defara la am maanaam Fafanding Jaam la député commissioner ak Mati Njai Senghor senior officer tax education unit ñoom ñoo fi toogati ngir waxtaane nag tey leneen lu bees muy 0 rated supply. Mr. Manam Mati dinañu ubbil waxtaan bi fii nga wax mbokk yi ñu seetaan ci wolof tey waxtaan bi ne ban solo la am pour seen liggéey bii ne.
waaw moom tam daanaka bu am solo la parce que VAT bi mu ngi mel ni dañ ko def ñetti catégorie ñu ngi def 15% muy yeneen goods yi nga xam ne yëpp dañ ko war a tax at 15%. then am na yeneen goods yoo xam ne dañ ko categorize ne they are exempted from the VAT. So yooyu noonu waxoon nañ ko ci suñ programme yu passé muy comme mbiri lekka yi maalo yi diwlin yi sukkur yi
daal bokkuñ daal ci VAT bi.
So boobu mooy exemption si. Then ñu am 0 rated supplies. Yooyu VAT bi exempted ko, but it is taxed at a rate of 0%. Mu ngi mel ni 0% lañ teg si loolu noonu